and it doesn't deserve to be on the NASCAR schedule. To get into the next point we got on the list today. Like I said earlier, I'm fine with road course racing, but this place hasn't put on a good race yet. It's not.
I still liked last year's until the end.
No, it was awful. Not as bad as this year's, but it was not good. And it's hard to watch. It doesn't look like people go to it. I don't know if it's just because the grandstands are so big and the place is so big. It just doesn't look like there's a lot of people there.
Well, I think it's kind of like what was at Bristol last week with us.
Yeah, it didn't look like anybody was there. The racing's not good. There's no reason that they shouldn't put damn Chicagoland or a track that will actually put on a good race in that spot. Hell, I'd be okay with another road course. Just fucking get the hell out of COTA. Go run Laguna Seca, or that would suck too in these stock cars. But go run somewhere. Go run Sebring. Go run somewhere. Go run somewhere else, because this track is just not doing it. And there's plenty of road courses. Virginia International Raceway would be a hell of a place for them to run. Road Atlanta would be a good place. I know that there's a lot of tracks down south, and they're trying to go out west and find some road courses up that way. But there's plenty of good road courses in this country that they could run. I understand that COTA's the new fresh thing. It's only 10, 15 years old, but it's just not a good racetrack. Like I said, I've never seen a good race there in any vehicle. So they gotta do something else. Like I said, I'm good with road course racing. Just it shouldn't be there. It's the worst race every year, in my opinion, and it doesn't need to happen anymore.
So I'm going to disagree with you. I still think COTA deserves a spot on the Cup Series schedule. Just the way it looks, and it's in a big state in Texas. Like you need, especially with the way Texas Motor Speedway has been ruined, you still need that racing blood, that some of that race, the racing other than Texas Motor Speedway, because it's so bad, and everybody knows that it's bad. Okay, well, in the meantime, you got to still stay in Texas. And the problem is you done what California. You don't want to do what California's done and rip up Auto Club Speedway and not have a plan, or have a plan but never go through with it. So you still need racing in Texas. Are there better options out there than COTA? Yeah, I'm sure there is, but it. Like you said a couple weeks ago at Phoenix, and you liked the race at Phoenix. I really thought it was an average race. Like you don't need every race to be a barn burner and
sure, but there's history at Phoenix. They've been racing there for 40 years, and there's, like you said, there's been good races there, and it sells out, and it's a good enough racetrack that you can't take it off the schedule. Like I said, COTA has never.
What's your opinion?
Put on a good race.
That's your opinion.
I think most NASCAR fans would agree.
That's your opinion.
At
I
least
think it has. I think 20. The problem is when the first race we came to COTA is 2021,
and that's the best race they had.
It was pouring down rain, and it was a shitstorm.
And it ended early, and it was the best race they've had there.
It was great because Chase Elliott won. But in all seriousness, if that left, okay, that's a bad first impression. You go on a first date with somebody and they stink, or they order some weird shit, or they on their phone all the time. There's some type of bad habit you see from the first date. It's going to be hard to continue to go out on dates with them based off that first impression. And COTA had a bad first impression their first year at that track. Had a massive rainstorm. They tried to fight through it. They had to go to single file restarts. Probably should have done it earlier. You had that big wreck with Cole Custer and Martin Truex Jr. on a restart because Martin couldn't see Cole. Cole had a problem, and Martin just pounded in the back of him. And it was just kind of a mess all day. And everybody still looks back. That was the first race at COTA. It was a fucking shit show. So now people are not going to give COTA the benefit of the doubt at all, ever, because of that. And it sucks because, like I said, I think 2022 wasn't great. but it was okay. You had a great finish with Ross Chastain, Alex Bowman, and AJ Allmendinger banging and battling their way to the checkered flag. And then last year's race, I thought it was a great race. Not a great race, a very solid road course race between Tyler Reddick, William Byron, Denny Hamlin. I think Christopher Bell was up there. You know, I think Alex Bowman was up there too. It's one of his best road course tracks. And then this year, yeah, it's probably the worst race out of this next gen era at this track, but it still wasn't terrible. I don't think it was bad enough to where you say take it off the schedule. And it does look on TV. It looks very good as far as the track goes, the amenities because it's such a newer facility. I think it has a spot in the sport, in my opinion, just based off the way it looks and where it's at, and the racing has been good enough, not great, been better than people want to give it credit for, just because it's a road course. I think it deserves to stay on the schedule, and it's not my favorite track. It's not even my favorite road course track. You know, Watkins Glen is still better than it by far. I still think Sonoma, it's close between them and COTA and Sonoma. I'd probably give the edge to Sonoma. Been here longer, a little bit
Not
more.
even close.
A little bit more nostalgic, you know, for Sonoma for me. So I'll give Sonoma the edge over COTA, but it's not a huge difference.
It's a huge difference.
The Roval, it's your opinion, man.
It's fact.
No, you can't have that to be. You can't.
My opinion is based on factual evidence.
Really?
Yes.
How do you base that off facts?
My eyes watch it, and I
That's
can tell.
your eyes. Your eyes can deceive you. Don't trust them.
They can't. I know what I'm seeing. I've been watching this
Help
sport.
me, Obi-Wan.
Been watching this sport long enough to know
I've been
what
watching
the
this
hell a
sport the
good
same
race
amount of
is.
time as you have.
Yeah, well, you're wrong. All right.
No, I'm wrong.
Listen.
No facts.
Listen.
My eyes say it's a terrible track.
It's the worst race of the year.
Nope.
You think Phoenix was worse?
No. I just said Phoenix was a 5 out of 10 and this race was a 4 out of 10.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So far, it's been the worst race this year.
Yeah, but we've had a great start to the year. You said that last week.
Fair point. Richmond's going to be better this weekend. If it's the worst Richmond race we've seen, it'll be better than this.
Yeah. Probably.
Martinsville will be better than this. Even a bad Martinsville race is better than this.
No, that 2022 spring race was horrendous.
Yeah.
That was worse than this race. Way worse than this race.
I put them on the same. They're about the same.
You couldn't pass at all there.
That's true. Listen, all I'm saying is
Chris Buescher drove from 37th to 8th. You couldn't do that in Martinsville 2 years ago.
it took him 100 laps to do it, and it was pit strategy.
100 laps?
It took him 68 laps.
He was in the top 10 with like 15 to go, 20 to go.
That's fair. But he's also the GOAT, so it doesn't matter. But
Christopher Bell drove from mid-20s to
if you got
second,
a good car,
almost won the race.
Listen. Sure. If you have a good car, you can do stuff. It happens. Same thing happens at Phoenix. But it's just not fun to watch the racing there.
It's not great, but I don't think it's, in my opinion, I think
If
it's good enough to not be taken off the schedule.
If it was up to me, listen, if it was one of the 3 road courses, I would be okay with it. But there's 45 of them now, so
They've taken some away.
Sure they have. They're going to Street Course, COTA, Roval, Sonoma, Watkins Glen, right?
I still think it'll probably be better than the Chicago Street Race.
I don't.
This year. I think second year, I think it's going to be kind of rough.
No, I think Chicago will be better. It'll be the worst road course this year, in my opinion, and it will be the worst race of the year.
I think Chicago, the rain helped the race become more exciting than it probably would have been if it had not rained. So I think Chicago Street Race could turn into a damn Monaco situation.
I don't think it'll be that bad. But
this
we'll
year,
see.
If it's, we'll see if it's sunny and 75.
Sunny and 75.
Well, it probably won't be 75. It'll be isn't it 4th of July weekend?
Yeah, it'll be 132.
142. So, and like I said, last year we were wrong about Chicago. We thought it was going to suck, and it was pretty good. But like I said, I think the rain helped out. If you get dry conditions, Chicago Street Race, I think it might be worse than this race. But we'll have to see. But no, I think it could deserve still a spot in the Cup Series schedule. I hope it stays on just a couple more years because I think it has potential. I think the more I still think this car has more to do with what we see what we've seen on the past couple of years. And like I said, I think the past couple of years the racing has been better than people will want to give it credit for. And they just kind of they old traditional NASCAR fans don't like road course racing. I think a lot of where this hate's coming from, in my opinion. And road coursing is part of the sport now, especially with this next gen car. It's built for road courses, you know. So we're going to continue to have them. If you want to continue to get international drivers in your series, like SVG, if you want to get Lewis Hamilton over here one day, Kobe, what's his name? Kobayashi. No, he's had a rough couple starts.
Thanks, Ricky.
He needs to stay away from that 47 car. Him and that 47 got into each other multiple times his first two starts in the Cup Series. But you want to get these international drivers in the Cup Series and get a little bit more star power in your sport on these certain races. You're gonna have to keep going to these types of tracks, and it's part of the sport more than it really ever has been. And these drivers take it seriously. I mean, 20 years ago, you'd have a road course ringer come in and they'd run top 5 or contend for the win almost every time. Now you get a road course ringer, they're lucky to run 25th. It's because all these drivers now, the cars are better, more suitable for these road courses, but also these drivers have taken a lot of pride and put in a lot of work to make their road course craft better. So that's the part of it too. Back in the day, you had a lot of these guys that didn't give a shit about road courses. They just wanted to get to the next week. And that made for entertaining racing because, you had a lot of craziness go on. Nowadays, everybody's a pretty damn good road course racer. So I think that has a lot to do with it as well.